Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second part of the story My Greatest Olympic Prize by Jesse Owens. A quick recap of the story so far. Summer Olympics, they were to be held in Berlin in 1936. It was due to Hitler's insistence that his performers belonged to a master race. The feeling of nationalism was high at the time. Jesse Owens was not worried because he had kept himself disciplined, sweated, and trained for 6 years. While going to Germany, he was thinking of winning one or two gold medals. He had pinned his hope on the broad jump. A year ago, he had set the world record of 26 feet 8 and quarter inches at Ohio State University. But a surprise awaited him. As the trials began, Jesse saw a tall boy hitting the pit at almost 26 feet. He was a German. He was Louis Long. Hitler had kept him as a surprise. Nazis are in superiority theory would get a boost if he won. Jesse Owens felt anger built up in him, and that was wrong for an athlete. Due to his anger, he committed two fouls. There was, and so as he walked away, there was a hand on his shoulder. It was the same tall German, broad jumper. He had qualified for the finals. He shook hands with Jesse Owens, introduced himself, and he asked him how he was. He had seen him committing fouls, and that was a shock because Jesse should have qualified easily. They talked it over. Long reassured him. He did not believe in the Aryan supremacy matter. He was an inch taller than Owens and had a lean, muscular physique, blue eyes, blonde hair, and a handsome face. He, pointing to the takeoff board, suggested to Owens to draw a line few inches in the back of the board and take off from there. Then he would not foul and would surely qualify. So he must be ready the next day. Jesse Owens was no longer tense. He did as had been suggested by Louis Long. And he qualified the trials. That night he went to Long's room to thank him. He gave all credit to the German. They talked for 2 hours about various things. They became true friends, though they were rivals. Louis broke his own record at the Olympic Games. That inspired Owens to do his best. He jumped 26 feet 5 and 5 by 16 inches. It was an Olympic record. Louis congratulated him. While Hitler sat in the stands and he glared at them. Louis Long and Jesse Owens struck a great friendship that if all the gold medals and cups were melted down, it would not be sufficient for the plating on the 24-carat friendship. The motto of the Olympic Games is that it is not important to win, but to participate. Conquering is not as important as fighting well. Louis Long was the best example for this philosophy. Justification of the title. This is the personal experience of Jesse Owens, a superb African American athlete who won 4 gold medals at 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin. He had proved Hitler's theory of the Aryan supremacy wrong, as he was a black and he had won the medals. He had toiled hard for 6 years, trained, sweated, and disciplined himself. He was angry with himself for the nationalistic fervor prevalent in Germany. This could have made him a failure in the trials. But the timely advice given by Louis Long, a German rival, saved him. Owens broke the theory of Hitler and gained not only the gold medals but an invaluable lifelong friendship with a great man. This friendship was his greatest Olympic prize. Therefore, the title, My Greatest Olympic Prize. My refers to Jesse Owens, and his greatest Olympic prize was the friendship which he had gained with Luz Long. Theme. First and major theme is the spirit of sportsmanship. Jesse Owens reiterates what Pierre de Coubertin, the founder of the modern Olympic Games, said. The important thing in the Olympic Games is not winning, but taking part. The essential thing in life is not conquering, but fighting. Jesse Owens, who was angry with Hitler's Aryan theory, committed mistakes during the trials. But Luz Long, who was his rival, was friendly with him and even helped him to get qualified for the finals. Luz Long, who was a true sportsman, extended a hand of friendship and gave him the right advice. Had Long wanted, he could have shown indifference and he himself could have won the gold medal. But he didn't do that because he never felt threatened nor did he feel jealous. When Jesse Owens won, Luz Long was the first one to congratulate him. Thus, there was no discrimination among the athletes. Therefore, the true spirit of Olympics is not winning but taking part. Luz Long did not win, but he was a good example of Olympic spirit. He had the spirit of sportsmanship in him. The second theme is showcasing true friendship. The friendly attitude and the right advice from Luz Long led Owens to first qualify and then go on to win the medal and set a record. Long congratulated him warmly. He was aware of Hitler's anger as he glared at them from the stands, not 100 yards away. He shook Owens' hand genuinely, and the smile on his face was not fake. Owens considered this as more valuable than all the gold medals and cups that he had won. He said, "You can melt down all the gold medals and cups I have, and they couldn't be a plating on the 24-carat friendship." This friendship was Jesse Owens' greatest Olympic prize. Coming now to the character sketch. Luz Long, he's a tall, lean, muscular German athlete, clear blue eyes, blonde hair, handsome face, and a friendly smile. He's every inch a representative of the Aryan German race. He has been brought up in the Nazi regime but does not believe in their philosophy. He did not share Hitler's theory of Aryan supremacy, even though he had been brought up in the Nazi regime. Hitler had kept him hidden from the world, only to present him in the Olympic finals so that he would win the jump. But Long possesses true sportsmanship spirit, and thus he helps Jesse Owens to qualify his trials. He has no sense of enmity or jealousy. He sees his rival as a friend. Long is a good human being, and his philosophy is to participate in the event and give his best, not necessarily win. He was genuinely happy to see Owens and congratulates him. So Long's goodness, generosity, and large heart make him an epitome of true sportsmanship. Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens was an African American athlete. He had trained, worked hard, disciplined himself for 6 years to participate in the Olympic Games to be held in 1936 in Berlin. He is determined to prove Hitler wrong. Hitler, who thought that his athletes would win all the medals just because they belonged to the super Aryan race. Owens fails twice in his qualifying trials because he's angry at the Nazis in the supremacy theory. He wants to prove that other races are not inferior. He is disgusted with himself for failing in his trials. But it is at the advice of Louis Long that he is able to qualify. Owens is absolutely impressed with his friendly rival. They both develop a lifelong friendship. When Owens wins the gold medal, he gets warm congratulations from Long and is convinced that their friendship is worth more than all the gold medals and cups put together. I hope all of you have understood the story. This is an assignment which has been given to you. Please ensure that you do this that you do this worksheet so that you know what the story is about and if you've understood it clearly or not. We will be discussing the answers to these questions, and this video will be discussed in our interactive class. Thank you. Please keep studying, taking care of yourself, and doing your work. Goodbye.